Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. So today's episode is going to be a review of Love Island episode 12. So I've seen a lot of people saying that they kind of wish that Tommy and Lucy should get together before this episode. And sure enough, this episode there's drama between Lucy and Joe concerning Tommy. So as we saw, Joe basically tells Lucy that he doesn't want her talking to Tommy. And I understand where Joe is coming from because it's not just a friendship, like they've just suddenly grown close. Tommy and Joe were essentially fighting for Lucy. Tommy was actively pursuing Lucy. He kissed Lucy. So it's not kind of those things where he's just like one of her boyfriends. Friends that are boys and they're just friendly with each other. They kind of have in a Love Island way, they kind of have history. I could understand why Joe might be concerned about C and Tommy getting close with each other. But logically, and I think everybody could see this from a mile away, logically it was never going to work, Joe coming up to Lucy and saying that, I don't want you talking to Tommy. Lucy has expressed that before, that she kind of gets along better with boys. She's one of those girls that has a lot of boyfriends, doesn't really hang out with girls. So I don't know if she expressed that to Joe, but obviously, Joe's basically telling her, like, I think you should hang out with girls now. I don't really like you hanging out with boys. And that in itself is problematic. And that in itself sounds, again, possessive. It seems like he's going back to Joe from you. I personally wouldn't accept that. I wouldn't accept that from my partner, especially somebody I'm not even, you're not even my husband or my wife. I wouldn't even accept that for a husband or something, telling me I can't speak to whoever because of something sort of way. If he was really concerned, he should have just said, like, I feel a bit insecure that you're speaking to Tommy, kind of thing. Because from the way that I see it, I feel like it's just a friendship thing. I feel like with Joe and Tommy, it was just a big competition and Lucy was the prize, rather than Tommy really wanting Lucy to be his girlfriend and his future wife. That's kind of how I see their relationship. But let me know what you think. Do you think that Lucy and Tommy was just a strictly friendship thing and Joe is doing too much, or that Lucy and Joe are definitely getting close and that Joe definitely had something to worry about, but he just went about it the wrong way? And do you think that Joe went about it the wrong way? Do you think he was entitled to tell Lucy that to stop speaking to Tommy? Joe and Lucy are obviously now on the rocks. But if they do break up, I don't think Lucy would get with Tommy. I think Tommy's preoccupied with the whole Maura and Molly situation. And if some other new blondes are coming into the villa, I'm sure they will be in this fan club too. There was a challenge and there was a food fight and Amy got upset because Lucy was basically targeting Amy, like letting all of her frustration out, and Amy felt like she was targeting her and got upset. I feel like it was petty of Lucy to do that, and it definitely was intentional. But do I blame Lucy? No, because Amy didn't apologise. She was conniving and she was malicious. She didn't apologise. And for me, I would have squashed it in the name of the game. Like, obviously in Love Island, I feel like there's always this thing of like, no one can have beef in the house. Let's all kiss and make up. But me, I would have, did the full face, would have said, let's squash the beef. I definitely still would have had beef, and I definitely would have pulled some petty shit like Lucy did. Amy definitely, I feel like in the grand scheme of things, Amy could have came back with the same energy, but again with the whole victim thing, she's got that unlocked. Amber keeps defending her, which is pissing me off now. Like every time anyone says anything, Amber's there to defend her, and it's like Amy is a 26-year-old woman. She doesn't need a 21-year-old defending her. So that's how I know that Amy has got this I'm the victim manipulator thing on lock, because all of the girls are defending her like she's some Mother Mary, Mother Teresa. So yeah, I definitely think Amy needs a psychiatrist and a shrink, and I definitely think Curtis still needs to get as far away from her as she can. And like the thing when she's like, oh, thank you for reassuring me, like always letting me know if I'm right or wrong all the time. That is some crazy psycho shit. And yeah, I'm no I just need Psycho Amy to be revealed for everyone to see. And of course, Anna's feeling the heat. She was being very bitchy this episode. I've seen it creeping up, bitchy Anna. Obviously, she doesn't have Sharif anymore, so she's single. Anton's really the only guy left. Like, she's twigged the game. Like, her analysis was quite spot on. But I don't like how she's coming on to Elma, like saying, "Oh, she's not prestige. She's she's a straight talker. She says it how it is." I don't know what the definition of prestige is, but prestige literally just means like, good quality, that bitch, classy bitch. Those are the synonyms. Those are the synonyms. So I don't think there was any need to call. I think there was no need for Anna to be petty like that on Elma, and Elma hasn't even done anything to Anna. So I'm not a fan of that, but I definitely think the heat is getting to Anna, and she's saying all of these things because of it, these petty things because of it, and she definitely is up on the chopping block. So obviously Anton was telling her that he had his back, but we all know we can't trust anything that comes out of Anton's mouth. So Mora is still not giving up without a fight. She's now sucking ice lollies in front of Tommy, and yeah, I admire her perseverance, but I definitely think that she is doing just a tad too much. And at this point, I didn't think that that performance was going to win Tommy over. And at this point, I was pretty sure that he was going to pick Molly. And I feel like Tommy does prefer Molly's approach than Mora's approach. I don't think Mora's approach is working. And I feel like Mora should have kind of grasped that maybe the kind of overly sexual approach might not work with him, and that was a time for her to sit back and think, what's a different approach I could take? And I feel like if she had calmed down a bit with the kind of sexual innuendos, then perhaps she would have had a better chance with Tommy. And also, there is a bit of an age gap. I didn't realise, but Mora is 28. That does put a lot of things in perspective, thinking that she's 28 and kind of acting the way that she is. I guess you could say she's young-spirited, but, Tommy's 20, Molly's 21. It seems a bit more logical that Tommy would pick Molly because of their age and because of their difference in behaviour. So there's a recoupling. Danny picks Yolanda, which isn't that much of a surprise. Curtis picks Amy, again, not that much of a surprise. Joe got to pick before Tommy or anything. So we already know that Joe was going to pick Lucy. Didn't really have much of a choice but to pick Lucy. In the edit, it kind of looks like Lucy was not as happy to be picked. So perhaps foreshadowing that their relationship could be on the rocks. And perhaps this could be the beginning of the end. Obviously, there's a whole drama between who Anton's going to pick. I always knew who was going to pick Elma, and obviously he does. And Anna's face, I don't know why Anna was like so disappointed and didn't see it coming. I feel like she shouldn't have been like she shouldn't have been riding on that, like hoping Anton was going to pick her. And I feel like it, I don't like Anton. You already know I want Anton to get in the bin. But I do think it is a bit selfish of Anna to expect him to kind of honour this thing of, not picking Elma and picking her because he said he was going to help her out, when she in no form has done that to him yet. So it's not even a thing where it's like, I helped you out last time, now help me. It's literally, he said he'd do it as a favour. Fair enough, he shouldn't have said that he was going to do it. But again, he doesn't really have an obligation towards you. I already know he was going to pick Molly. And yeah, I kind of feel like I do think that I do now. In the beginning, I was Team Mora. But now I feel like Molly and Tommy did make a good couple. Not sure if Mora would make any coupling with Mora would make, a long-term relationship thing. I feel like she's in that kind of mode in her life where she looks her best and she just wants to have fun, and she's just come on the show to have a good time rather than actually find a long-term relationship. So I don't think any relationship with Mora would be long-term per se. So that obviously left Anna and Mora unpicked. At this point, they didn't really reveal anything like, are they going to get kicked off? What's going to happen? Are they going to have to vote and one of them goes home? I wasn't sure at this point. I didn't think that they would. I saw a rumour basically after the whole Sharif situation, which there is an update on that too. After the whole Sharif situation, there was like something in an article that I saw that basically said that the producers are going to put in provisions so that Anna isn't kind of penalised, so that Anna's safe this week. So then they get a text that two boys are waiting to go on a date for Anna and Maura. So they've been saved and they get to go on a date. And then also they're saved from this new thing where it's like the islanders have to vote which two couples they think are the least compatible, and then they're vulnerable. So I'm guessing they're going to pick the two couples that they think are the least compatible, and they're both going to be up for public vote. So in terms of who I think who I personally think is the least compatible would be obviously Anton and Elma. They literally just got together, and I'd probably say Molly and Tommy, because they literally just got together. Everyone was calling her out saying, Molly just wanted to be with Tommy because a new girl came in and she didn't actually want him and she was just talking to everyone. So I think if I was picking and I was voting honestly, I'd pick Alma and Anton and Tommy and Molly. But because of alliances in the house and relationships formed in the house, I think that it's going to be most likely Anton and Alma, because they just got together, and then they're all gonna pick Lucy and Joe, because in the preview we saw Amy already saying they're already having issues. So Amy's already got a vendetta against Lucy and Joe. Well, mostly Lucy, but Joe adjacent. So I feel like Amy and Curtis are gonna probably pick Lucy and Joe. The girls in the couple, so Yewande, Amber, they're all under Amy's manipulative spell. So I feel like in solidarity they're probably going to pick Lucy and Joe too, because they kind of called Lucy out on the food fight, and they probably I feel like they don't really like Lucy anymore, so they just pick her because of that, because of the whole Amy situation and the way that Amy has made the situation seem. So I definitely think that it's going to be Anton and Elma. Definitely Anton and Elma. And then I'm pretty sure it's going to be Anton and Elma and Joe and Lucy. But I think maybe Tommy and Molly too. So with the new arrivals, so we've got two new arrivals. We've got another mixed race / light skin boy. Another average looking one. I think he's even more average looking than Danny. Danny, I'm not too sure. Sometimes he looks good, and then sometimes he looks very square and basic. I'm not completely 100% on Danny yet, but I definitely feel like the new person. I think it's Jordan. The one that's the mixed race, that's light skin guy, has replaced in the most average looking out of the whole mixed race light skin person. It's another one coming. It's just can we get something different now? Like Anna's the only Asian one in there. Can we get something different? I'm a bit tired now. Tom, another white boy. So, and he's pretty average looking too. So I'm not really that excited. Maura, I'm sure she'd love to have anything, as long as they're average looking and they're functional. I'm sure she'll have anyone, and no shade. Anna, I don't think she would be attracted to any of them. Out of the two, maybe she'd be more drawn to Jordan, if he's the mixed race guy. I'm not sure what the names are yet. If anything, on Twitter, everybody's gone back to thinking Joe is a serial killer, and they're saying that he's possessive and controlling. And I feel like even people who are still rooting for Joe and Lucy, they've got a point. I understand where Joe was perhaps coming from, but he is becoming very possessive. He's somebody who gets jealous very easily, and and when he was speaking to Lucy, he didn't make it sound like it was an option kind of thing. It was kind of like, this is what you need to do for us to be together, or this is what you need to do, full stop. And I don't think that they would work on the outside. I'm not sure if I'm team Joe and Lucy anymore, because it's happened twice now. He apologized the first time, but the behavior continues. And I didn't even think, obviously, I can see why he'd be jealous of Tommy and Lucy's friendship or relationship, but I didn't think he needed to. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I can excuse it, or if anyone can excuse it as a, oh, he didn't explain himself well kind of thing anymore. Because I feel like he was very purposeful in the words that he was saying to Lucy. It's a bit more positive for Lucy on Twitter. Everybody kind of wants her just to leave Joe. Everyone's kind of feeling sorry for her and wants her to kind of spread her wings. People are suggesting that she should get to know the new boys. I feel like she should. I feel like Joe can't really come back from this. This is the second time now. Yeah, I think Lucy should get to know other people. So on Twitter, I'm happy to see that less and less people are supporting Amy now. I've seen a rare bunch actually defend her and say that they think that Amy is right. But I think most of us now see that Amy is a loony, and quite frankly, I'm happy to see her go. The thing is, I do still like Curtis. I still like Curtis as a contestant. And I feel like it's early enough for Amy to somehow get kicked off the show, whether it's through elimination, public vote, whatever. It's a good time for her. If she got kicked off tomorrow or next week, I feel like Curtis wouldn't be upset enough to leave the villa and just carry on and see if he finds somebody else. That's why I feel like next week we need to have an individual vote. If anybody from Love Island who is on the Love Island team stumbles upon this, we need an individual vote next week so we can vote off Amy, and whoever gets the lowest vote goes off, and the rest you can do with whatever you want. But I want an opportunity to at least exercise my right to have the option of voting Amy off. I need her to go because I feel like Curtis will never turn his head for anyone. Amy has a very tight grip on him, as well as all of the girls around the house. So I feel like the only way that Amy and Curtis are going to break up is if she is kicked off the house or removed from the house. That's the only way. And so be it. If it's a thing where both of them if they have to go it's a package deal, both of them, if you want Amy out, Curtis has to go too, so be it. I feel like Curtis is I feel like he's a good contestant, but he isn't a great contestant enough for me to tolerate Amy anymore. So if it's a thing where both of them have to go, I'm cool with that too. It's a bit more split this evening on Twitter. Yesterday, the last episode, there was a lot more kind of hate for Maura over the whole situation where she tried to kiss Tommy and he was trying to dodge it. I'm not sure I feel like some people generally do like her. I still like her. I don't hate her or anything. I still prefer her as a contestant more than Molly. Some people don't like that she's overly sexual. I feel like there is a double standard. I feel like Anton has been quite, maybe not as vulgar, I'll say, or as explicit, but Anton has been pouncing around everywhere, and I haven't seen the much intense hate for Anton that I have seen for Maura, even though pretty much they've been conducting themselves in the same way. Okay, Anton has kept his lips attached to his mouth, but if we're really comparing, their behaviour has been quite similar. So I feel like it's a double standard here for the hate that Maura is getting. I feel like some people generally like her, some people don't like her because she's overly sexual, and some people feel like she's good entertainment value. I still think she'll be good entertainment value. I'm not sure if she'll still keep going for Tommy. That would be interesting if she was still going after Tommy whilst entertaining the new boys. But I still think that she's a pretty good character. She sticks up for herself, and I feel like she sees through Amy's bullshit. So perhaps she could be somebody who really puts Amy back in her place, because I feel like with Lucy, she's too nice. She did try and stick up with herself with Amy, but bless her, she's too nice, she can't do it. I think Maura's going to be the one to put Amy in her place temporarily. Amy has a strong hold on the house, but I feel like if anyone's going to check her, it's going to be Maura. Everybody seems pretty happy that Tommy picked Molly. I'm not that surprised about it because a lot of people did not want to see Molly and Tommy together. Personally, I didn't care. If he picked Molly, I feel like they would be more compatible. But if he picked Maura, there would probably be a lot of drama the next episode. But either way, I wasn't really invested enough in Tommy enough to really care who he picked. Yeah, let me know what you think. Do you feel like Molly was the right decision, or do you think that he should have picked Maura? So with Anna, I'm seeing a lot of mixed opinions on Twitter. Some people are calling her, Anna and Amy, the mean girls. Some people are saying she was kind of bitchy, and some are happy for her that she's finally going on a date. So that's the latest on Twitter. If you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, my handle is at shannonfabuloso. That's Shannon, SHANNONFABULOSO. I usually live tweet in the episode, and you can feel free to at me during the episode with your opinions as we're watching the show. There has been an update on Sharif's story. I'm not sure if he breached his contract or not. He went running to the Sun newspaper, which I think is a trash newspaper, by the way, I have to say. They obviously offered him some good moolah to spill the beans, because he definitely, I'm not sure what the contract is for Love Island, but they're usually quite airtight. So it must have been a considerable amount of money for him to risk whatever legal storm may be coming his way. But basically, the reason he said that he was kicked out is because he was having a play fight with Molly, and he accidentally kicked her in the crotch, and he must have joked afterwards saying it was a cunt punt. I'm not sure what the hell that is meant to mean. If anyone knows what it means, please let me know. But yes, apparently, I'm not sure if it was because of the groin kick. I believe it was because, well, what it's being made to seem is it's because of what he said afterwards that he was kicked out of. Obviously, if that is true, if the reason was solely the groin kick, it was solely because he said punt, cunt, punt after the groin kick, then yes, that is a pretty ridiculous reason to be kicked out of the house. A lot of people bring up the comparison that Ellie called Georgia a cunt, and she, nothing happened to her. He did say that he feels like he was targeted, feels like he got harsher treatment because he was black. If he was white, he probably would have been able to get away with that. That is true. But am I going to be protesting outside ITV because of it? No, I'm not. Yeah, that was the reason why Anna is out here single and feeling the heat. That was the reason why. Yeah, I wish Sharif well. I wish him all of the Boohoo Man sponsorships and all of the Bali holidays. So yeah, I wish you well, Sharif. There was a bit of drama this episode, but again, it's still feeling very dry and very forced this season. I feel like the editing is forcing it a lot. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this episode. Do you think that Joe was doing too much? Do you feel like he is just, low-key Joe from You? Do you feel like it's crunch time for Lucy and Joe? Do you think they can come back from this? Do you feel like Joe can redeem himself? Or do you feel like Lucy should just do a runner? So yeah, let me know what you think of the new boys. Are you feeling them? Do you feel like they could have done better with the selection? Let me know who you think is going to be picked tomorrow for the least compatible couples. Let me know which two couples you think are in danger, or three, or more. Let me know. Till next time, guys. Bye.